Hi there, my name is Shea, my wife's name is Kayleigh, and together we are tackling some big debt in the Big Apple. It is Friday morning, and every Friday morning we sit down and normally we do our budget together, but Kayleigh is still in Las Vegas. So basically what happened was she was supposed to take a red-eye home last night and arrive this morning, and we were supposed to do the budget together. I was like, that's insane of you to do, but if that's what you want to do, it's your prerogative, like, absolutely go for it. And then yesterday she texted me and she was like, this may in fact be insane of me to do. I may want to get another full night of sleep here so that I can get on the plane home and not be absolutely exhausted. So you are having another solo Shea budget today. I don't mean to brag, but I went in and I reconciled all of the accounts and I covered all of our overspending yesterday. So we are all ready and good to go for our single paycheck budget this week. I did a lot of stuff this week, although not as much as I had originally anticipated. I was supposed to have a couple of little fun outings over the week, but they both ended up, for various reasons, getting canceled or postponed. So I spent like more in the grocery category because like I decided that then I was going to splurge on some groceries, like some fancy farmer's market groceries for myself, and I didn't actually need to use any of the ordering food money that I had set aside for last week. I ran some errands, I went on a trip to the Met, I watched the Tonys, I watched that live CNN broadcast of Good Night and Good Luck on Broadway, which is the first time that a Broadway show has ever done like a live broadcast to a television network completely for free. They broadcast their closing night and it was phenomenal. It was so good. So I watched that and I just generally had a good time over here. I did some sewing projects. I'm working on a tester set of shorts that I'm going to try on Kayleigh, and then I'm going to make some adjustments to make the real pair of shorts that I'm making for Kayleigh. All sorts of fun stuff, but it was mostly inside the house. We've got a lot of stuff coming up this next week. So let's take a look at what we got going on in this budget. So you will see here that I did, in fact, forget to do something. I forgot to approve Kayleigh's budget. So that's why it says we have $0 right now, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, we are back. I've put in Kayleigh's paycheck, so now it is ready to assign. Normally I'm on my second cup of coffee by the time I do this in the morning. That's what I'm going to blame everything on, is that this is my first cup of coffee, not my second. We have $886. This is a single paycheck week from Kayleigh. We do have a little tiny bit of overspending that I'm just going to cover with what we're getting from the paycheck. I think that is just something coming in from the MTA. There's always something because I'm always getting on the train for something. No, that's not what I wanted, even a little bit. Holy crow. Okay. That did not need to be as difficult as it was. I don't know what it is with me and overspending. It is just hard for me to remember which buttons to click first thing. Okay. So now that we have covered overspending, we are going to head into July. And every time we get a single paycheck, which is only Kayleigh's paycheck, she gets paid every week, I get paid every other week. So we have alternating single and double paycheck weeks. So every time we get a single paycheck, we add $350 to next month's rent. So there we go. Now we're going to head back to June so we can take a look at everything that's coming up immediately within the next week. I've got something I really want to set aside some money for, and I don't know if it's going to be able to happen this week. I spent more than usual on groceries, but that was because I kind of took like $30 from the ordering food fund, and I moved it to groceries because I wanted to make some nice fancy meals for myself, so I just splurged on some fancy ingredients and stuff like that. But I am going to add $100, which is what we usually add every week. Transportation. I don't know if Kayleigh's going to want to take the bus home or if she's going to want to take an Uber home from the airport. I'm going to put $50 in there. And that will cover certainly anything we could possibly need in terms of public transportation, but it will also cover Kayleigh if she wants to take a little Uber home from, I think she's landing in LaGuardia? I can't remember. She changed her flight, obviously, so I cannot remember if she's coming into JFK or LaGuardia. Let's throw $25 in here. just in case we want anything. Ordering food, I think it is probably also prudent to just throw $20 in here. I don't plan on ordering any food, but you know, sometimes we get a little fancy beverage from 7-Eleven or something, and that would be encompassed in ordering food. Household consumables, so we have already fully spent this category, but there were a couple things that Kayleigh really needed. She needed some travel minis, which is encompassed by household consumables, and she also needed some of her hair product. It is a small queer-owned business called Rich Gay Aunt, and they make fantastic hair, like pomade and gel products, and so it's a little bit more on the expensive side, and Kayleigh needed to re-up her stores, so she also got that, which is why we are not yet halfway through the month, and household consumables is already fully spent. So we are going to overfund it, because I know at minimum I am going to need to pick up some toilet paper from Trader Joe's when I go later today. So hopefully that will cover anything household consumables related that we need this week. Laundry, I am going to need to fund laundry. Let's just do 10 for now. Pretty house, I think I'm going to forego for this week because my flowers are still very fresh, very nice looking, and I think I can get them to last for another week if I try really hard. And I am not really a fan of any of the summer scents that Trader Joe's has in stock right now, so I don't need any candles either. So we're good on that front. Wyatt is Kayleigh's cousin / nephew, and we are saving up money to do something nice for him when he turns 18, whether it's, you know, buy him a computer for college or, you know, put it toward other living expenses or just whatever. So we save his age in dollars every week. He is 10 years old. Every week he gets $10, and this week is no exception. $10. So here's my dilemma. Here's kind of what I'm looking at, is that we have $300 left in ready to assign. We have one social engagement coming up this week that we are going to need to set aside some money for. And we also need to buy another AC. We have been battling, trying to get our apartment cooled with 2 ACs for the last 2 years now. And I have finally come to the conclusion 2 ACs, wherever we put them in the apartment, is just not enough to keep the whole thing habitable in the summer months. I think it will just be better for our peace and our well-being in general if we can at least have it, you know, under 80 degrees in the whole apartment, especially at night when we're trying to sleep. So I found an AC unit that I want to purchase. With taxes and shipping, it's probably going to be about $300. So between the social engagement that we need to pay for and the AC unit, that math ain't mathin'. So I may have to take a look around and see what I can do to try and make this work. I think maybe we can get by with $40. $10. Here, I think we could probably get by with $40 in transportation. I think that'll be fine. I just bought cat litter, so we don't need cat litter. I think what I'm gonna do is, we don't need vitamins, nobody needs a haircut right now, nobody needs clothing right now. Ooh, I might steal from clothing. We'll see. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to put $250 in household fixtures. Like if we take from the Wish Farm, between that and stuff that we have in the Wish Farm, that should probably cover the AC. And then I am going to go ahead and put the rest of this balance into date night, so that we have a little something when we go out for dinner with our friends on Sunday. Yeah, we've got $55 in the Wish Farm. So I may have a conversation with Kayleigh about using these funds to fulfill our wish of not sweating in the middle of the night in our own home. That's a wish, isn't it? For those of you who don't know, the Wish Farm is somewhere where we put all of our kind of like extra change. So like if we have anything under like $10 that's left over after we've allocated everything else in round numbers to wherever it needs to go in our budget, we put the rest in this Wish Farm. And we save up for things like Roman shades and a new air filter and a TV stand and things that we don't need, but we really want. I have a feeling that dinner for the 2 of us is going to be more than $66. I don't know what restaurant we're going out to just yet, but I feel like I am going to go ahead and make this $10. Just in case we need to, I don't know, buy socks or something. And then I'm going to put the rest into here so that we've got plenty of money for date night. So we've got now almost $90 set aside for date night. I think that should be enough to cover the two of us. We've got groceries covered. I did not get to do grocery restock this week, but I think we can maybe make up for that on our next double paycheck. Really, right now, my priority is just making sure this AC gets ordered at some point within the next week, because we're going to start having our first 90-degree days at the end of this week. So I think it's important to get the AC in here before we hit those 90-degree days. Last but not least, we have the student loans. Our budget for this is called, oh no, my future, it's broken. We keep all of our student loan things in a completely separate budget. By keeping these two things separate, it kind of, like, we don't have to look at these numbers, which can be very overwhelming. That's a lot of student loan debt. And also, it helps us pretend like this money doesn't exist, so that we have no problem taking it and putting it toward the student loans on a regular basis. $300. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the budget. I don't know that Kayleigh would have made the exact same choices with the budget as I did, but I did my best. Single paycheck weeks are a little bit tough sometimes, but that's okay. YNAB is a fantastic tool for us to figure out how we're going to prioritize what we have to work with, and I think that's exactly what I did today. I hope you all have a wonderful week. On Sunday, very exciting 2-week vlog extravaganza coming up. I don't know how much Kayleigh was able to vlog while she was in Las Vegas. I imagine not a lot, because she was running around working probably like 12, 13 hours a day every single day. But I had a lot of fun here, so you get to see all that. And that'll be on Sunday the 15th. On Tuesday, we will have another wildcard video for you. I'm not exactly sure what that is. If you have any requests, feel free to leave them in a comment down below if there's anything in particular you want us to talk about on Tuesday. And then every Friday, we sit down and do our budget. And next week, we are gonna be together. I promise. I think that is it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.